Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about the recently concluded match between the Delhi Capitals and the Rajasthan Royals. In my match preview, I was of the opinion that the side that wins the toss can possibly look to bat first, put up a reasonable total, but apparently the wicket had a tinge of grass in it, and it was no surprise that after Rajasthan Royals won the toss, they chose to field first. Uh, Probably it's because of the playing conditions over there, where the wicket had slightly more grass than normally a wicket in Wankhede for a 2020 event would have. But then the most important factor is that Ben Stokes, one of the best all-rounders in the world today, is out of the tournament due to an injury, and to replace one cricketer, they had to make two changes. They had to bring in David Miller, who is a left-handed batsman, and they had to bring in Jaydev Unadkat, who is probably a very experienced bowler by himself. So it was no surprise that Rajasthan Royals, after winning the toss, they wanted to field first. And fielding first, they were off to a brilliant start because the men in form, Prithvi Shah and Shikhar Dhawan, were out back into the pavilion within the first 3 overs. And Delhi Capitals batting never got off to a reasonable platform from where they could possibly launch because Rajasthan Royals kept taking wickets at regular intervals. There were reasonable contributions. Rishabh Pant played really well, like how he has been playing for the last 4 months for India and for all the matches that we had seen. And Delhi Capitals got off to a very below par score of 147, thanks to some a reasonable contribution down the order from Tom Curran and others. Here, it was very surprising for me to see Ravichandran Ashwin bat very low down the order because apart from Ajinkya Rahane, if at all there is anybody in the Delhi Capitals lineup where they could look up to consolidating their team's position and putting up a reasonable total, I think the go-to batsman can be Ravichandran Ashwin, and I was really upset to see him bat way down the order because he is a batsman of a much better caliber. So, having said that, having restricted Delhi Capitals to a very small total of 147, we all thought that on such a good batting wicket, when there is a little bit of a due factor, getting those runs back can possibly be a walk in the park for the for the Rajasthan Royals. Pardon me. But such is the beauty of the game of cricket that there is always going to be a twist in the tail. Rajasthan Royals were put under a lot of pressure by the Delhi Capital bowlers when they lost their premier batsman, Josh Butler, and the in-form sensation, Sanju Samson, very quickly. It took an extraordinary innings from David Miller to keep Rajasthan Royals in the game. But once he got out, it was looking as if Delhi Capitals were going to pull this miraculous defense through. But I'm a very firm believer that when it comes to defending below par totals, the experience of a captain comes into play. There is absolutely no question here about Rishabh Pant's cricketing abilities, but a lot was left to be desired by the way he led his side when they were chasing a below par total. The most important thing for me is Ravichandran Ashwin, after bowling only 3 overs, after having considered only 14 runs, did not complete his quota of 4 overs. And for a side in a tournament like IPL, when there is a premier spinner, like a proven customer like Ravichandran Ashwin, if we are not going to find ways to get him to bowl his full quota of 4 overs, particularly when the bowler himself is at the top of his form and bowling really well, that clearly shows a tinge of inexperience on Rishabh Pant's part. And his over, that single over that he did not complete, was bowled by Marcus Stoinis that went for 15 runs. As I keep saying in all my blogs, that cricket, particularly 2020, is a game of very, very small marginal edges. I think this is where Delhi Capitals lost their plot. However, having said that, having shared my thoughts about Rishabh Pant's inexperience, it was very heartening to see his aggressive way of leading the side. Probably Virat Kohli style could have rubbed off on him, but then defending low totals definitely requires a little bit of more experience. And if you can't complete your premier spinner's quota of overs, then I keep saying this, I know that I'm repeating this, but that's a miss. Tom Curran as a bowler in the death. See, the thing is, when I started making this video, I told myself that I will not be the one to sugarcoat a lot of things. I always believed in being as honest as I possibly could. And Tom Curran is highly overrated for his bowling abilities in the death in Indian subcontinent conditions. 12 runs were needed of the last over, and two sixes were hit, and both were terrible deliveries. That's not something that I would expect out of somebody who is going to be my go to bowler in the death overs. There is something else that I want to talk about, which I actually didn't want to talk about when I started this video. But the standard norm is when a player puts himself up for auction, he never decides his price. And a franchisee, when they are going hard when it comes to bidding for a player, they have their own reasons for doing so. And I'm sure Rajasthan Royals has their own reason for bidding for Chris Morris for such a big amount. But the talk of today's match is how much was Chris Morris being bought by Rajasthan Royals, and how much of pressure he is in because Ben Stokes is out and all these things. And in a regional commentary, when the last over was about to start, I even heard a guy who has played for India say that Rajasthan Royals had paid 16 crores to get Chris Morris, and they just need 12 runs, and it's like about 12 lakhs per run. Sorry, it's about a crore and 25 lakhs per run. This is something that is actually disturbing. The same thing was also talked about Jaydev Unadkat's big budget purchase by the Rajasthan Royals. Once all those things are being done, I see no reason as to why that's being the speaking point apart from cricket. And I think that's something that people will come to terms with. Yes, some people happen to be at the right place at the right time, but I don't think so that the price of the player should be ever be a talking criteria when it comes to his performance or contribution to his team. So to sum it all up, it has been Rajasthan Royals throughout. They fielded better, they bowled better, and more importantly, they finished this game better. So that's about it. Till the time I post a video about my thoughts on another game of cricket, stay safe and have fun.